Chemical bond. What is the chemical bond? Have you heard of a strong bond between two siblings? Have you heard of a strong bond between father and son? A strong bond between mother and son? Between mother and father? So, what does that mean? A bond simply means, in any relation, a bond means a strong attraction, right? Similarly, in chemistry, the attraction between two atoms is known as a chemical bond. So, what is chemical bond? Chemical bond, or simply bond, is attraction or the attractive force between two or more atoms is known as a bond, right? So, between two atoms, the attraction is known as bond. That's so simple, right? In real life, we do have this between a father-son relation, in a mother-father relation, into siblings, two sisters, brother, sister. So this is a attraction, right? That is, if it is a strong attraction, we say it is a strong bond between them. If attraction is less, we say it is a weaker bond. So we have chemical bond that says, talks about attraction between atoms, right? So attraction between atoms is more, that means bond is strong. If attraction between atoms is not that so great, we say bond is weak. Now, there is a term commonly used as valency. So, what do you understand by valency? Valency is basically the number of hydrogen atoms combining with that particular atom. If number of hydrogen atoms combining with the particular atom is 2, we say valency is 2. If number of hydrogen atoms or chlorine atoms combining with a particular atom is 1, we say valency is 1. Such as with halogens, one hydrogen atom combines. So, valency we normally call that as 1. If number of chlorine atoms, let us say in group 2 elements, calcium, barium, beryllium, number of chlorine or hydrogen atoms combining with them is 2. So, we say valency of calcium, magnesium, barium is 2. That is all. Next, why do they combine? You must be thinking, why atoms combine, right? So, why anything is happening in nature is because it wants to gain stability. It wants to gain stability. Why a student is studying? He wants to have a stable career in life. Why teachers want to give good knowledge, good skills to his or her students is because he wants them to grow in career, to be stable in career. So, similarly, when atoms combine and form a stable thing, that is the reason why any two atoms combine. In chemical terms or technical language, if we say, then what have been observed is that noble gases are very stable. Which are noble gases? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, and radon. So we observed why they are stable. They do not react with other atoms. Why they don't react? What has been observed is, in their outermost shell, helium has 2 electrons and other elements in their outermost shell have 8. So we figured out why any atom is stable. So we concluded that if outermost shell has 8 valence electrons, then it will be stable. Or if hydrogen has 2 duplet and any other atom has 8 valence electron, it will be stable. So any atom combines to gain that basic stability thing. That means every atom wants to have 8 electrons in its outermost shell and hydrogen wants to have a duplet. So, for that it is combining with other atoms. So, different ways are there in which atoms combine. So, different forms of bond we have. What are those? We have ionic bond, we have covalent bond, we have hydrogen bond. So, these are few or coordinate bond. So, mainly we have ionic bond, covalent bond, and coordinate bond is a type of covalent bond which we will be talking in this chapter. So, what is the ionic bond? Ionic bond is formed when ionic bond, and another name for that is electrovalent bond. When does ionic bond forms? Ionic bond forms when one atom one atom loses its electron or gives its electron to another atom. For that matter, if Na is giving electron and Cl is grasping this electron, gaining this electron and converting into Cl minus, then Na plus and Cl minus have a attractive force which is known as ionic bond. Ionic bond between Na plus and Cl minus. So, if transfer of electron is happening between two atoms and getting attracted to each other, then we say ionic bond is formed. And you can check out, they have a noble gas configuration. That means in their outermost shell they have 8 electrons. For example, in Na plus we have 2 comma 8 electrons, 8 in outermost shell. Similarly, in Cl minus we have 2 comma 8 comma 8 electrons. That means by gaining 1 electron, Cl converted into Cl minus, so it has now 8 electrons, and by losing Na had 11, it lost 1 electron, so now it has 10 electrons and 8 in outermost shell. So 8 in Na plus and 8 in Cl minus. So they themselves have become very stable, and the attraction between Na plus and Cl minus is known as, the attraction between ions is known as ionic bond. Alright. So next we have, so electrovalent bond has few conditions. What do you think, why they combined? Why the ionic bond forms? Ionic bond usually forms between a metal and a non-metal. So metal has characteristic of losing electron, and a non-metal has the characteristic of gaining electron. So one loses electron, another captures the electrons. So ionic bond is formed. So required condition is difference of electronegativity between atoms must be high, or in short I can say a bond between the metal and non-metal is a ionic bond, right? So conditions for electrovalent bond are, the difference in electronegativity must be high. In short, you can say a metal and non-metal have usually a ionic bond. Next, the ionization enthalpy, the energy required to remove an electron must be low. Low ionization enthalpy and more negative electron gain enthalpy of the non-metal. Low ionization enthalpy of metal and more negative electron gain enthalpy of non-metal are the conditions for the formation of ionic bond, and the representation is as below, where you can watch out. As in calcium oxide, calcium has 8 valence electrons in its outermost shell, so as oxygen, and you can see how we have represented that, Ca2 plus, similarly O minus 2, right. So Ca2 plus and O minus 2 can be represented in ionic form to represent the conditions in calcium oxide. Same way we have another example, NaBr. So NaBr could be represented as Na plus and Br minus, and you can check out 8 valence electrons are present in the outermost shell, 8 electrons are present here, and 8 electrons are present in oxygen. In oxide ion, outermost 8, in calcium ion, outermost 8. So both of them have octet, that is the required condition for stability. Same way here we have Na plus 8 electrons in its outermost shell and Br minus 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So conditions are met and they are very stable.